Hey, Steelers Nation! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we have some exciting news brewing that could shake up our beloved Steelers in a big way. But before we dive into all the juicy details, let's take a second to show some love to the team. The Steelers are working hard, striving to improve, and aiming to bring us the best results week after week. So, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to stay updated on all the latest Steelers news and analysis. Now, let's jump right in. There's been a lot of buzz lately surrounding the Steelers and their wide receiver situation. We all know that the departure of Diontae Johnson earlier this offseason sent shockwaves through Steelers Nation. And it's no secret that Pittsburgh has been aggressively searching for a top-tier receiver ever since. First, they came close to a deal with the 49ers for Brandon Ayuk, but that fell apart at the last minute. Then, the rumor mill spun around Davante Adams. But now, folks, things are getting really interesting. Enter Rob Gronkowski. That's right, the former Patriots tight end and longtime Steelers rival recently made some waves on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams. Gronk dropped a major hint, saying he thinks the Steelers could be in the running to trade for none other than Cooper Kupp from the LA Rams. Let that sink in for a second. Cooper Kupp, the 2021 NFL Offensive Player of the Year, potentially catching passes from Russell Wilson in the black and gold? Gronk believes it's not just a pipe dream, he's confident it could actually happen. In Gronk's words, "I like the Steelers. I studied in Pittsburgh my senior year of high school. I know what it's like to be part of Steeler Nation. I understand what the Steelers mean to the city of Pittsburgh." Even as a former rival, Gronk has a soft spot for Pittsburgh, and he seems genuinely excited at the prospect of Kupp joining the squad. According to Gronk, if the Steelers could land Kupp, it would be a huge boost for the team. If they had Cooper Kupp, with Russell Wilson playing the way he has been, just tossing it up for his receivers to make plays, I think it would really push the Steelers to the next level, he said. I think it'd be the best fit, too. If they can get him, Steeler Nation would go crazy. Now, Gronk might not have insider info on this one, but his confidence and enthusiasm certainly make the idea worth discussing. Kupp joining the Steelers offense could be the spark Pittsburgh needs to take the next step toward Super Bowl contention. As we know, Pittsburgh has been on the hunt for a star wide receiver ever since Johnson's departure. The Steelers front office, led by Omar Khan, has been keeping a close eye on every opportunity to bring in a game-changing pass catcher. Brandon Ayuk was almost the guy, but the deal fell through, and while the rumors surrounding Davante Adams were exciting, they didn't come to fruition either. However, Kupp could be a different story. With the Rams facing their own challenges and potentially looking to make moves, Kupp might just be available. For Pittsburgh, adding a receiver of his caliber would completely transform the offense. Imagine this, Russell Wilson, fresh off a resurgence in his play, throwing bombs to George Pickens and Cooper Kupp. That's a combination that would send fear through any defense. Kupp is known for his incredible route running, reliable hands, and ability to make plays in key moments. Pairing him with Pickens would give the Steelers one of the best receiver duos in the league. Since arriving in Pittsburgh, Russell Wilson has been playing solid football, especially as the season progresses. While the team sits at 5-2 heading into Week 8's Monday Night Football matchup against the New York Giants, there's a sense that this offense is still missing that one crucial piece to elevate them to the next level. Kupp could be exactly what Wilson needs to unlock the full potential of this offense. Russ is known for his ability to extend plays and give his receivers a chance to shine downfield. Having someone like Kupp, who can create separation with ease and make clutch catches in traffic, would give Wilson another dynamic weapon to work with. Add to that the continued development of Pickens, and Pittsburgh's offense suddenly becomes much more dangerous. The Steelers have been hovering on the edge of being true Super Bowl contenders, and many believe that a move like this could be the final piece of the puzzle. Before we get too carried away with trade rumors, let's not forget about the defense. Pittsburgh's defense has been a force to be reckoned with all season, led by none other than T.J. Watt. But let's take a moment to appreciate the impact of another standout, Alex Highsmith. Highsmith, who returned from injury in Week 7 against the Jets, was flying under the radar but still made a huge impact. He didn't get a sack, but he was in the backfield all game long, putting pressure on the quarterback and disrupting the Jets' offensive rhythm. Heading into the Monday night clash with the New York Giants, Highsmith is in a prime position to have a breakout game. He'll be lining up against Joshua Ezeudu, a young tackle who struggled in recent weeks. Ezeudu allowed multiple pressures and sacks last week, and Highsmith is licking his chops at the thought of going up against him. Even if the Giants decide to shuffle their offensive line and bring in Chris Hubbard, who some of you might remember from his days in Pittsburgh, Highsmith should still have the upper hand. With all the attention on T.J. Watt, Highsmith could quietly have a massive night and be the key to the Steelers' success on defense. While we're on the topic of edge rushers, let's not forget about Nick Herbig. Herbig has been dealing with a hamstring injury and is not expected to be ready for Monday night, but his return can't come soon enough. When healthy, the trio of Watt, Highsmith, and Herbig forms one of the most dangerous pass rushing groups in the NFL. Once Herbig is back in the lineup, opposing quarterbacks better watch out. If this trio can stay healthy, they'll be a nightmare for any offensive line, and Pittsburgh's defense will continue to thrive. This week's injury report just dropped, and it's raising some eyebrows across Steelers Nation. Two critical members of our defense, strong safety Deshaun Elliott and defensive tackle Keanu Benton, were both added to the list after missing some or all of Thursday's practice. Elliott, who's been a key piece in the secondary, sat out with a back injury, while Benton was limited with a calf issue. The severity of these injuries isn't fully clear yet, but it's definitely something we need to keep an eye on as we approach Monday's primetime matchup against the Giants. If Elliott can't go, veteran safety Terrell Edmunds would likely step into the starting role. And let's not forget, Edmunds is no stranger to that spot. He held it down as the starting strong safety for the Steelers from 2018 to 2022 before spending last season with the Eagles and Titans. Now back with the team, he's already been providing depth at free safety, especially with Damontae Kazee dealing with his own ankle issues over the past couple of weeks. Luckily for us, Kazee looks like he's ready to return to action on Monday, which gives our secondary a boost. But still, having Elliott out would be a significant loss, especially against a Giants team that might try to exploit any cracks in our defensive backfield. On the defensive line, things are just as tense. Keanu Benton, who's been having a strong rookie season, is dealing with a calf injury that kept him limited in practice. That's not great news, especially since Benton's primary backup, Montravius Adams, was placed on injured reserve earlier this week with a knee injury. Adams is set to miss at least the next 4 weeks, leaving the Steelers a bit thin at the nose tackle position. So, what's the plan if Benton can't suit up or isn't 100%? Enter Braden Fehoko. He was just re-signed to the practice squad after recovering from a pectoral injury he sustained during the preseason. With Adams out and Benton limited, it's looking more and more likely that Fehoko could be promoted to the active roster and play a key role against the Giants. Now, Fehoko might not be a household name yet, but he's got that gritty, hard-nosed playing style that Steelers fans love. If he gets the nod, he could bring some much-needed depth to a defensive line that's been battling injuries throughout the season. But hey, it's not all bad news. The Steelers did get some positive updates in Thursday's practice. Kazee and cornerback Dante Jackson, who's been nursing a shoulder injury, were both full participants. Having Jackson back to full health will help shore up our pass defense, and his aggressive play style should be a welcome sight as we take on a Giants offense that's been struggling. Also, let's give a shout out to Dylan Cook, who fully participated in practice as well. He's working his way back from the injured reserve list and could be available to add depth on the offensive line soon. The timing couldn't be better, as we gear up for a tough stretch after our Week 9 bye. Offensively, there's been a lot to be excited about. The Steelers are 6-2, and we've put up 69 points in our last 2 games, pretty solid, right? Pittsburgh is averaging 23 points per game, and we're currently ranked 13th in EPA, expected points added, per play, which is respectable. But if you ask quarterback Russell Wilson, he'll tell you there's still plenty of room for improvement. Specifically, Russ has been vocal about the need for the offense to start faster. In his words, "I think the most important thing is starting cleaner. The best thing we've done is respond really well. I mean, obviously, we scored 37 points, but we felt like we left a couple more touchdowns out there." Wilson's right. While the offense has been explosive at times, we've struggled to come out of the gates with a bang. Getting those early touchdowns instead of settling for field goals would put a lot more pressure on teams like the Giants, who are relying on Daniel Jones to carry the load offensively, a scenario that would definitely work in our favor. Speaking of the Giants, this Monday Night Football matchup is the perfect opportunity for the Steelers to clean up those slow starts. The Giants have been struggling, particularly on offense. If we can jump out to an early lead, it'll force Daniel Jones to throw against our defense, a situation we know plays to our strengths. And let's not forget about the Steelers' defense, which has been opportunistic lately, even if the pass rush hasn't been as dominant as usual. Over the last 2 weeks, we've only managed 2 sacks, which is below our typical standards. But with TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith wreaking havoc on the edges, and potentially getting Nick Herbig back soon, this defense is primed to get back to its sack-happy ways. Daniel Jones better watch his back, because if this pass rush starts clicking again, Monday night could get ugly for New York. Alright, Steelers Nation, here's where things stand. As we approach this Monday night showdown, all eyes are on the injury report. Will Elliott and Benton be ready to go? Or will we see Terrell Edmunds and Braden Fehoko stepping up in their place? Either way, we've got a tough battle ahead, but nothing this team can't handle. With a 6-2 record and the bye week just around the corner, the Steelers are in a great position to make a playoff push. But as Russell Wilson said, starting faster and cleaning up those little mistakes will be key to taking this team to the next level. As we look ahead, there's a lot on the line for Pittsburgh. The trade deadline is approaching fast, and whether or not the Steelers pull the trigger on a deal for Cooper Kupp could have major implications for the rest of the season. But now, it's your turn, Steelers Nation. What do you think? Should the Steelers go all in to get Cooper Kupp, or should they focus on other areas of need? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more Steelers news and updates. We're keeping a close eye on the trade deadline, and we'll bring you all the latest as it happens. Thanks for watching, and as always, here we go, Steelers.